the next stimulus package, guys. So huge shout out to Case Study QB, who's actually been posting a lot of great content on his Twitter account. Please follow him on Twitter. He's sitting through corporate media, so we don't have to. So, Gunner, would you please kindly play these 3 videos?
Of course.
All right, let's get things started.
Okay, so we stay open and we have some stimulus money left that hasn't been used. Is there, in your view, a need for even more?
Not at this time, Joe. We're going to reassess in about a month. I'm going to be meeting with the chairman of the Federal Reserve in a couple of days because he has called for some of that. There are a couple of things that we need to do if there is additional legislation. Number one is liability protection. For our teachers, for our small businesses, for our healthcare workers, you don't want the sue and settle lawyers to come and bring a new pandemic upon us. So that would be part of it. If there is an additional piece of legislation, I think we need to take a look at infrastructure, roads, bridges, highways, things that actually put people back to work all across the country. I chair the committee in the Senate that's done that. We've come out with a bill 21-0. All the Republicans, all the Democrats, including Bernie Sanders, has supported that. So there are things that we can absolutely do if we need to do more to help the economy. But one of the big detriments, and we see help wanted signs out here in Wyoming and around the country, it's the fact that we continue to pay people under this unemployment insurance benefit plan, the $600 plus up for unemployment benefits. People are getting paid more to not work than to work. And we see about 2/3 of the people on this program are getting paid to stay home. But when the government decided to shut down the economy, we needed to do something that would make a real difference and help and hold those people harmless. But we're now at a point where it's a disincentive when we need to get people to work, and that expires on July 31st.
Is the bonuses for going back to work, is any legislation, I think Senator Portman's involved, is that going anywhere? Or do you support something like that? Is that going to become law?
Well, I saw Rob talking, I think, to Becky yesterday about it. He talked about it for the last month. I don't see that becoming law right now. Nancy Pelosi wants to extend this $600 per week benefit all the way into 2021. This costs about $80 billion each month of spending, of additional debt onto the country. We want
Play the next video.
to make sure that people who can't go back to work because of the health conditions or because of the fact that their job isn't coming back, we want to help those people, hold them harmless. But to just continue to pay more if you stay at home than going to jobs. Target is paying now $15 an hour to start. But yet if those folks are staying at home, they can make, it's comparable to making over $22 or $23 an hour for not working. So we have the incentives wrong. That has to end the end of July.
Andrew?
Hey, Senator, wanted to ask you a bit about the liability issue for employers, and wanted to raise what's become a bit of a controversy around AMC, the cinema chain. Last night, the CEO coming out saying that he is not going to require customers to wear masks in theaters, going to encourage it, but not going to require it. Says, by the way, that one of the reasons he's not going to require it is because he believes it's political. And you heard the president yesterday make comments that he believes that wearing masks are somehow a signal.
Okay, because the next video is going to be 46 seconds, so let's just try and unpack that. First of all, look, people right now are out of work, and right now we're hearing Target finally raising the wages up. But the thing is, it's almost too little, too late. And the thing is, we need to have an emergency UBI because there's no such thing as going back to normal. The whole idea of everyone going back to work and it's all just like how it used to be. No, I'm sorry. That world is non-existent. And for some reason, I guess Congress and these politicians that have been in power for so long seem to forget that, wait, you guys are able to pass these budgets where we give the military so much, and we're also able to give tax breaks to the top 1%. But when it comes down to the working class people who are right now struggling, whose jobs are probably never going to come back, no, it's going to raise to the deficit. All this stuff about the deficit and saving and saving. Well, then maybe we shouldn't be wasting all our money on these regime change wars. Maybe we shouldn't be wasting our money on these joint strike fighters that can't even fly at night. Maybe we shouldn't be wasting our money on giving tax breaks to the top 1%. You know, I don't know what world these politicians are living in, but I guess a lot of these incumbents who've been in power for 20 plus years, they get brain damage, or they're somehow suffering from dementia, or they just can't understand different concepts, or the fact that the whole world has continued to evolve past them while they still remain in that swampy Washington, D.C. bubble. The people need relief. The people need emergency UBI. And if that makes the centrist Democrats and conservative right-wing Republican politicians uncomfortable, well, then too damn bad, because the normal that you guys once knew, the normal that all of you politicians helped build with your friends in Wall Street, the big banks and major corporations, it's not coming back. And COVID-19 is not going where anytime soon. And that dumbass idiot who runs AMC theaters, well, no one's in a rush to go back to the movie theaters. Everyone's been live streaming or watching Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. So as much as I am a big fan of movie theaters, it's going to go the way of the dinosaurs. Guys, real quick.
So I have a bunch of stuff to tack on, but let's talk really about that movie theater situation real quick. Let's be clear. They have their political answer that they're giving, but the real reason is that they're all running out of money. Movie theaters, like I said, as an idea, as a concept, is dying. Dying very quickly in a way that no one expected. So they're saying yes to anyone, because if they turn away a family that doesn't want to wear a mask, that's $100 that they don't get, that they really need, because their business model is falling apart in real time. But I want to go to, again, this point that always angers me greatly that I see in the news and it's just the entire system as a whole. When it comes time to bail out the banks, bail out stock market, bail out major companies, to any tune, to any amount, to quantitatively ease money into existence to the tune of trillions of dollars. Remember, we covered back in October that the banks were, that the Fed was quantitatively easing $100 billion of money into existence every single day. Yet, okay, so again, literally $100 billion a day, and that went on for like $3 or $4 trillion worth of money. And yet, again, here we have the same people that never complained about that money being sent out, never complained about the businesses getting that money, how are they going to pay it back, never complained about the need to quantitatively ease at all, are all of a sudden going $80 billion a month is just too much for regular people. These people that make $15 an hour, they're earning $22 an hour equivalent. What a sad state when the thing that's the thing, it's like we can't give money to poor people because, again, mainstream media, which, again, you should cut your cable from mainstream media. Mainstream media is tied directly to the wealthy. That's what their programming is for really for people that make over $1 million. The political system, its entire system of levers and pulleys that exist, all go to people with money. So the real answer is, and spreading apart the bullshit that they're talking about, the real answer is we should be getting that money, not the poor people. They should be working to death.
Yeah, and it's weird cult of work. It's just I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate the whole idea of
Yeah.
it. All right, go ahead, Jose. What's the final word?
I mean, really, you added a lot to what I was just going to say, so I'm just going to go right to the bare bones. So the labor movement was split into different guild labors so that workers didn't have a unified front by the meritocracy scientifically trying to quantify that this labor is different than this labor, so you should get paid from this much to this much. These are old arguments about how you have a unified labor front. This guy complaining that people might be making more money on unemployment, he's complaining that they don't have their method of coercion to get you to work for starvation wages. Your desperation that you might actually have some ease and comfort in your life, which is really what all these movements are fighting to and unifying around. I just want to say that public sector unions are constantly under attack by Republicans. It's going to be interesting that this guy's now talking about building bridges, building roads, talking about labor jobs that tend to be unionized, but that necessarily mean that there makes the left wing. These are self-interested parties interested in getting the best bang for their buck. And we could have had an infrastructure bill 10 years ago under Obama's administration. For lots of reasons, we didn't have that. It seems like people are finally ready, desperate. Capital is ready to pay what it costs to put people to work. But the reason that public sector unions are always under attack is because they set a universal standard that other people can aspire to. And this disconnect that we see with the unemployment and the $15 per hour is going to be highlighting a lot of these discussions, I think, over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and that's a good note to end on, Jose. And as a final word, too, look, this system that we've built is smoke and mirrors. It doesn't work, and it's failing. And all these people who work in Wall Street, the big banks and corporations, they see it, and they want us, their peasants, their serfs, to make sure that it still functions. Well, to hell with that. End the cult of work and the religion of work, work, work till you fall down. Because let's face it, it's time for us to rise up, strike, and protest, and not return back to that neoliberal normal. Let us all ask ourselves, for a long time we've been trained for a world that's supposed to make us all feel good and make us go for the American dream, but it turns out it's one big lie. We've been breaking our backs for a world that was always non-existent. That was a pretty cool video, right? Well, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and be sure to check out our live show every Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, I think that's about it.